Welcome everyone, this is Krembo from Emotionless Crypto Trading, and today we're going to present you a comprehensive video presentation of Bybit cryptocurrency derivatives exchange. This is going to be a review video presentation where we share all the details that you must know about this project, which is bringing a lot of new things in the industry and raising the bar, which is great. Right, so let's get started with Bybit. We're going to have a discussion around company, people, background that is going on in the first minutes. We're going to lay the fundamentals of the company and important details which are located behind the company. It is called Bybit Fintech Limited as company name. The business is registered in BVI, which stands up for British Virgin Island. Headquarters are located in Singapore and Shanghai. These are a few details for us in order to know where is this company located as business and headquarters in the world. Now, by the way how LinkedIn explains, the company has a size of 51, between actually 51 and 200 employees. On the other side, it has been established on April 2018, launched on 1st of December 2018, so it's pretty fresh, I would say, as company. It has about 4 to 5 months, and it is already implementing some of the newest strategies within the industry and a lot of the unique things that the others are not having the ability to deliver as product. By the way, there is a little detail here which has a high importance in my opinion when it talks about the seriousness behind a company. It is possible for the people to visit their headquarters, which is something I'm asking a lot of the projects out there, and I'm getting refused. Right, so you can visit their headquarters in Singapore and Shanghai. Now, the address to these headquarters can be received via support. It's something you can do on their official website. The link is located in the description area. We're also going to walk through the official website in the next minutes. But, in a nutshell, it is important, and I'll tell you why is it important and what are my experiences with other exchanges or ICOs or projects from the world of cryptocurrency. Well, the majority of them are not allowing people to visit their headquarters because there is something to hide. And when there is something to hide, when you're not completely transparent to your audience, to your customers, when you are not capable, I would say, to be completely transparent and meet up face to face with your audience, then of course there is something dirty in the middle that you don't want them to see. Right? So one of the things that I'm recommending everyone to do when they research is look after companies, especially when you want to deal with those companies, when you want to put your money into the company, because when you work with an exchange, you're actually adding your money on that exchange, and of course the guarantees and the risks involved are different from each of these exchanges, but they're pretty high, and you must know where you're putting your money, right? So definitely one of the ways to know this about how serious that company is, and it's not only for Bybit, it's for your knowledge, is looking after their headquarters, and if it's possible to visit their headquarters to see that there is a real company in the real world. Because the online space has this ability to create false companies out there which are not having real world implementation, right? So Bybit here covers this very well, and it presents complete transparency, allowing us to see their offices. CEO of Bybit is Ben Zhou, if that's the right way to pronounce. He is also a China general manager of XM. Right, so I'd like to share with you his LinkedIn profile. This is the person behind the Bybit company as co-founder, and he is also involved, as listed right here, as China General Manager in a company which is listed from 2010 until December 2017. He was for 7 years right there General Manager to a company that has a list of 1,085 employees on LinkedIn, right? And we can see a lot of the things all around the company, which is actually official trading partner of Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, is an award-winning Forex and CFD broker that serves clients from 196 countries worldwide. So we can see that this company right here is insanely high, and of course it has a very comprehensive experience in the trading market. CEO of Bybit was involved into XM as well, which tells us a lot of the things as well, that we're not dealing here with a CEO that is new in the trading world or is unexperienced from the possibilities perspective, which is an important fact. We do know a lot of the projects in the crypto space are coming in as pretty new and fresh in the entire industry, which means that they had no experience anywhere else, right? And we know the rate of success is definitely low when we talk about no experienced people in a company. But hey, here Ben Joe is definitely one of the guys which is high experience and well known in the trading world, especially in Asia. Now, around the funding team and other members we're going to discuss about very soon, but we can see that is made out of expert blockchain investors and financial executives. It also includes experts from BAT, from BAT cryptocurrency, while our risk control and operations teams consist of specialists coming from world-leading companies like Morgan Stanley. Bybit targets global audiences and now have clients from more than 50 countries. Bybit is mostly active in English-speaking worlds and Asia. Another thing which is pretty important in my opinion and must be noted here is they had no ICO. So this is not a cryptocurrency or a company built out of an ICO and launched out of a crowdfunding like that. Not in the way that a lot of the ICOs or the ICO idea is bad. No, it's not bad, the ICO idea, but it has some negative sides when there is an ICO. It has some cost, some consequences when you're holding an ICO, which Bybit is avoiding them by not having such a thing in the game, right? So that is completely, totally different. Going towards to the company people and background, these are the people behind, by the way, how LinkedIn is listing them, which are taking care of their company, right? So they've got employees looking after strategic partnerships, international media manager, marketing supervisor, business development manager, operational supervisor, operational manager, business development manager. There are 3 listed out of those: design manager, professional recruiter, head of institution, designer, financial services, and consultant. So these are the ones listed as employees on LinkedIn profiles. This is what they cover, by the way. You can also take a look, because there is a very important feature in the support, and we're going to talk about that very soon. If you have some other questions that you believe is important to see if they're covering that specific jobs in their company, that specific categories, this is another thing that you must look after. In order for a company to be successful long term, they need to cover specific areas of activity. If they have no people employed for that specific areas of activity, there's no way for them to cover those areas. And if there's no way for them to cover those areas, they will lose between the battle of other companies, right? So you have to look after all these details. That's why we're trying to cover what Bybit is covering inside their LinkedIn profiles and what kind of employees are they having, what they're taking care of. Other details which are always looking after is the public appearances. Very important to see that the real people is existing, especially when we actually know that you can visit their headquarters and you can see people behind Bybit. We also want to see if they are presenting their faces to the real world, because we know that there must be a face of a business. That's the right way to put it. Every single business must have a face. It must have a human behind it, and not only one. The more you have, the better it is. So, however, they got a very nice public appearance available, in my opinion, at Consensus Invest 2018, Bybit's participation in Consensus Invest 2018 drew the attention of several foreign institutions and companies, signaling the bright future of the company. Bybit, one of the companies invited to the event, decided to step up its participation from that of a simple invitee to a full-fledged sponsor. And they also had a post-Consensus Bybit cocktail party. The proofs for that are located right here within their Medium profile. I'm also going to include this link in the description area, so you can see they have a blog post about us, and they have represented through pictures and details like text and pictures what happened with Bybit at Consensus Invest 2018, which is, in my opinion, one of the top 3 most important events of cryptocurrency and blockchain every single year. So by being invited and by transforming yourself to a full-fledged sponsor is a big deal. Although not anyone can be a full-fledged sponsor to any event, the ones which are organizing events must accept you. And before they would accept you to be like that, they have to run a comprehensive research process to see what is your company about and how serious are you, in order for them to connect their name and event to your business, right? So they have to make sure about that. This is another way to verify the level of security of the company, right? So there's a lot of the posts and images here you can read about. And here's the cocktail party, which also has a YouTube video. You can watch that. So you can see real people involved. CEO participated as well. You can see all these things in real life, which is not something very popular around the crypto space. I must tell you, that's why I like to point these things out, that these guys are not hiding, which is one crucial thing. Another thing that is about the project we're going towards with the analysis, and Bybit.com, crypto derivatives exchange for individual institutional traders, tackles the problem of market manipulations done by other exchanges, creating the fair and transparent environment. It's one of the places they are like to forcing on transparency, because we all know crypto space should be as much as possible, including the blockchain as much as possible, transparent. Although we see a bunch of the exchanges out there nowadays that are not transparent at all. Not at all. And there's many of that. The majority is just like that. And I can see that from the feedback I'm getting from people, but I can pretty much understand that and predict that by knowing what is your experience with all those, seeing them by myself, because I'm also working with a bunch of the exchanges and I see there's no transparency, especially around the manipulations of the market, right? So this is one of the places they are trying to bring in more value and to raise the bar in the transparency category. Now, other things such as there's up to 100x leverage on trading. They have the swap between BTC and USD, as well as Ethereum with USD, with Ethereum as collateral, which is very important because Bybit is the first exchange that has just introduced Ethereum to USD contract with Ethereum to be used as collateral. Attention, so this type of contract as collateral has never been introduced in the industry till now. In the future, there will be more contracts. They're already working and developing other type of cryptocurrencies for leverage trading. So this is going to be a lot better as options in the future. And I've heard they're working pretty fast on that. Other things, 10x industry average speed of match engine, right? So they have 10x higher speed than the average speed of the industry as a matching engine between the contracts. 10 times faster than the average of this market. They have 100,000 transactions per second per contract, which is very important because this creates the ability to have no overloads. Fastest servers and latest technology prevent overloads, so users will not be liquidated or lose out on the ability to make orders during the server downtime. Overloads is the number one reason for complaints about other companies. Now let me tell you some stories about the overloads. Because leverage trading, margin trading on other exchanges, when you get that little pop-up message that tells you the service is overloaded and we're not able to execute your function, when that message appears, and you want to close your order because you don't want to get liquidated, or you want to get out in profit as soon as possible in high profit, and you're not able to do that. You're not able to complete the action in a time when the market spikes and there's thousands of transactions per second and actions per second within that server, which is not able to handle, so it blocks and it tells you that it's overloaded. Then what you do is you just look at a screen and waiting to lose your money potentially, right? It happens a lot at a time and the frustration is insane. I can tell you majority of my students are facing this issue with the overloads. And I tell you, Bybit has a big win situation here by avoiding this issue, which is represented by the latest technology as well as 100,000 transactions per second per contract. That is important because it avoids the overloads period and the possibility. It is the number one problem. That's what everyone says in the feedback zone of all the exchanges which are covering leverage. Overloads, crying about overloads. That's true. It's very true. It's like you want to do something and you're not able to do it at a time you have to do it. Because trading necessitates an action to be completed at the time you push the button. If you cannot complete that action due to technical problems, then you have to get rid of that project, of that software, of that company as soon as possible. And I tell you something, you don't have to wait to lose money and burn yourself. Get rid faster of those companies which are not permitting you to act at the time you're pushing a button. The companies that are not giving you the ability to run a smooth activity inside their business. So if they want to do business properly today in the real world as well as online world, they have to offer a smooth experience and not to get the ability to use the services at the time it's very important by getting the servers overloaded, right? So that's a major downside of a lot of the exchanges out there. 24/7 customer support. This is another deal. Live chat customer service with immediate response. Must underline immediate because this is something we're not very used in the crypto space, especially around the exchanges. But what about live chat? You don't pretty much see that too often, and especially with leverage exchanges. Transparent reporting and live streaming API to be launched soon. Attention, this is very important. No market manipulations. Currently building a platform to live stream our API so users can see exactly what is going on behind the scenes trading wise, right? So this is, like I said, the way they are raising the bar in the transparency section, which is very, very important in my opinion for a project out there to continuously perform activities of progress to a better transparency level with their customers. Talking about fees, Bybit Charts provides a trading fee for every complete trade depending on the nature of the trade. Attention. For the market makers, a 0.025% rebate will be provided, while for market takers, a 0.075% fee will be charged. 0.5% maintenance margin for any volume, or 0.5% fixed maintenance margin begins at the liquidation price, which maximizes your profits as you are never partially liquidated. Other companies have partial liquidation starting from the order price at different percentages, which is a huge difference because you're missing money by utilizing a partial liquidation from the order price, exactly as other companies are following. Order types. 3 categories: limit, market conditional, You've got the stop entry, stop loss, take profit from the entry bar. Users can set profit and stop loss along with entry limit orders when orders executed into positions. The SLTP will follow into positions. Traders can execute their will trading plans at once. Isolated margin and auto margin replenishment. Choose between an isolated margin or an AMR to replenish the margin and automatically avoid liquidation, which is very important when he talks about liquidating. I mean, by the way, in these situations with all these tools and with all these possibilities, it's very hard to get liquidated, in my opinion, because you get a lot of this supporting features, and I would say security features. And we all know that how important is the security into our business, especially when we talk about money directly, to secure our money, to secure our trades, to secure our activity. Right, so other exchanges only support cross margin or isolated margin, which is just to make a difference. And we've got also the trailing stop. Risk management, talking about this as it's important. Well, they've got a custody multi-signature cold wallet, dual price mechanism, index price entered to GDEX, Bitstamp and Kraken, 33.32% per each. Contract loss mechanism, insurance fund into auto deleveraging. These are technical details, and in order for you to find out what exactly are they particularly, you can find out more in the frequently asked question. In my opinion, this step right here is very important before you dive into utilizing any sort of services. Bybit or other services, whatsoever you're doing with your business, make sure you walk through the frequently asked questions. And one of the ways to see how serious is the company is to check the quality of the frequently asked questions. If it's done in 10 minutes, or if they really paid attention on every single detail and tried to cover as much as possible of the company. So you see they have, for the beginners, questions and answers, 61 articles. Getting started, 12 articles right here. Deposit withdrawal, 10, 8 for margin, fees, liquidation, security, troubleshooting. It's pretty much covered all up. Great. Going towards, we have other details of the company. Average daily trading volume is 2,500 BTC, 30,000 registered users. Liquidity $4 million, slightly above that. Volume, I did wanted to see what is the volume right now, so let me refresh this page and see what is the volume. Here on CoinCodex we can see it's $906 million in the last 24 hours for Bybit. Bitcoin has 6.28 million, Ethereum 2.78 million. This is their 24 hours volume, which is pretty much enough for us to run the trading. Night mode, which is an ability, but why I've added this thing right here is because they have mentioned it's added based on feedback from customers, which tells me that they pay attention on the feedback from the customers, which is again not something usual. Paying attention to the feedback of the customers is an activity that is used to be done by the companies which are looking to progress, looking to be the leaders, and looking to show value, respect to their audience by paying attention on their needs and then delivering on their needs. Because there are some companies telling you, hey, thanks for sending your feedback, it's pretty cool. End of the story. They never ever do anything about it, which is pretty bad. But there are some other companies which are also implementing the things that are important from the feedback zone and improving the experience of the user. So the order position on the charts is also another feature added recently based on the feedback from the customers. They're also working on 3 important things: mobile version, affiliate counter, EOS in Ripple contracts. Like I've mentioned earlier, they're adding a lot of these contracts. Other details, referral commission. This is what we will share for refer traders. Opposed to other exchanges, Bybit applies commissions on takers' volume only before subtracting makers' rebates or discounts. Attention. What makes our commission twice as big as others and absolutely transparent? There's another thing that refers to the learning side, to the educational side, which is the Bybit Academy. Free resources to help all levels of traders learn more about responsible trading techniques. I like the fact that it says responsible trading techniques. Responsible. You know why I'm saying that, because trading is not a joke. And the official website is located right here, bybit.com. We're just going to head over it. Bybit is pretty much very user-friendly in my experience compared to the other exchanges. Their official website is located right here, and you can have a lot of the details mentioned within their frequently asked page, as well as more where you can get documents, contract guide, exchange guide. Then you can also have an experience on the trade tab where you can see how the functions are working, plus you can do the sign up process in order to see how this one is looking from inside. So we've got the volume thing explained, we've got the frequently asked questions, we got the website, cocktail party consensus, the XM company where Ben Joe is working. Here is pretty much their LinkedIn profile, where you can also see some other details that are pretty much straightly connected to the background of the company. And in a nutshell, in a video presentation that might sound comprehensive, trust me, we did a research process that was about 5 days long, and we tried to bring out the most important things which are not usual, and they are standing out, because there are a lot of the things that we could share and talk about. But attention, we want to pay within this type of videos our energy into things that are standing out by different companies that have something to share. Right, so all the links can be found in the description area, such as to the official website, LinkedIn profile, consensus events, frequently asked questions, whatsoever details found there. I'm going to include all those links right there in the description area for you to see if you would like so. That's all in a nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you appreciate, and hopefully this type of content is helping you. Thank you so much once again. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe button, tell your opinion in the comments area, and I'm waiting you over my next videos.